It was a busy late morning at the downtown cafe, sunlight streaming through the large windows and casting warm light across tables filled with customers tapping away on laptops or chatting quietly over coffee. Monica Harris, a black woman in her early 40s, stepped inside with a calm, confident stride. She wore a smart blouse and casual slacks, carrying a leather satchel over her shoulder. Monica was a respected judge in the local court, known for her sharp mind, fairness, and integrity. But today she was off duty, seeking a quiet moment to enjoy a cappuccino before a series of community meetings. She approached the counter and placed her order politely, smiling slightly at the barista behind the register. As she moved to find a seat, a waiter, a young white man named Tyler, glanced at her order slip and smirked. "Guess that's what you're having?" he said with a chuckle, directing it in a way that suggested he was mocking her for her choice or appearance. Monica looked at him calmly, her expression neutral, acknowledging his comment with a simple nod but saying nothing. Tyler laughed again, assuming he had provoked a reaction. Other patrons at nearby tables noticed the interaction, some glancing curiously, sensing the subtle tension. Monica's posture remained composed, her calm demeanor contrasting sharply with Tyler's casual arrogance. She sat at a table by the window, arranging her bag and notes neatly in front of her. Tyler approached with her coffee, still grinning, attempting to make a light joke about the order. Monica set the cup down, looked him in the eye, and in a steady, clear voice said, "I'm Judge Monica Harris." The smirk on Tyler's face froze instantly, replaced by shock and confusion. His eyes widened and he took a step back, realizing that the woman he had been mocking was not just any customer, but a highly respected judge with authority over matters far beyond his cafe experience. The cafe fell into a brief, stunned silence. Patrons who had witnessed the exchange glanced at each other, some suppressing smiles, others nodding subtly in recognition of the reversal in dynamics. Monica maintained her composure, calm and dignified, letting her title speak for itself without raising her voice. Tyler's awkwardness grew as he realized the weight of her authority, and he muttered an apology that came out half-formed. His earlier bravado completely vanished. Monica nodded politely and took a sip of her cappuccino, the quiet confidence of her presence filling the room more powerfully than any words could. By the end of her visit, Monica had returned to her seat and begun reviewing documents for her next engagement. Tyler, now subdued, served other customers with careful attention, the lesson in humility and respect indelibly impressed upon him. Patrons whispered quietly among themselves, acknowledging the dramatic reversal that had occurred in mere seconds. Monica's presence had transformed the cafe, demonstrating that dignity, authority, and composure demand recognition, and that assumptions and casual disrespect can be overturned instantly when confronted by the reality of earned status and expertise. The following morning, Monica Harris returned to the downtown cafe to begin her day with the same calm routine she had cultivated over years of disciplined work. The sunlight streamed through the large windows, illuminating the wooden tables, polished floors, and the hum of patrons engaged in quiet conversation. She carried her leather satchel with ease, moving with measured composure, aware of the respect she carried not only through her professional accomplishments, but through the quiet authority she projected in every interaction. Patrons who remembered her from the previous day gave subtle nods or polite smiles, sensing the dignified presence she naturally exuded. Tyler, the waiter who had mocked her previously, was now noticeably tense. His movements were careful, and his posture betrayed lingering discomfort from the previous encounter. As he approached her table to serve her coffee, he avoided making unnecessary comments, speaking instead with measured politeness. Monica acknowledged him with a small, calm nod, her demeanor unwavering. The atmosphere in the cafe had shifted subtly. Where casual disregard or arrogance had been tolerated before, her presence now subtly imposed attentiveness and respect without a single raised voice. She ordered her usual cappuccino and a light breakfast, the simplicity of her request contrasting with the authority she carried effortlessly. Throughout the morning, Monica reviewed documents and case notes for her upcoming courtroom appearances, fingers moving steadily across legal briefs and files, while occasionally glancing at the surrounding cafe activity. Patrons whispered quietly to one another about her composure, noting the quiet power of someone who did not need to assert authority aggressively to command attention and respect. Tyler, working nearby, maintained a professional distance, occasionally exchanging polite nods with Monica, silently acknowledging the lesson learned from their previous encounter. The contrast between his earlier arrogance and his current careful demeanor underscored how quickly perceptions could shift when confronted with undeniable authority. By mid-morning, Monica had completed her breakfast and prepared to leave for her next meeting. She moved gracefully through the cafe, her presence commanding attention in subtle ways. The calm certainty in her stride, the quiet confidence in her posture, and the careful precision with which she handled her belongings. Patrons watched her leave with a mixture of admiration and respect, many recognizing that true authority is measured not by dominance or intimidation, but by composure, skill, and earned expertise. Tyler watched as she departed, silently reflecting on the reversal of power that had occurred the previous day and the ongoing lesson in humility, respect, and awareness that her mere presence had reinforced in the cafe. By the time Monica stepped out into the sunlight and walked toward her next engagement, the atmosphere in the cafe had shifted completely. The patrons, including Tyler, had absorbed the quiet lesson. Authority and respect cannot be fabricated or mocked away. They are earned through experience, composure, and consistent demonstration of competence. Monica moved confidently into the streets, fully aware that every interaction she engaged in, no matter how ordinary it seemed, carried with it the weight of her presence and the undeniable lesson that true leadership and respect are demonstrated through action, poise, and unwavering dignity. By midweek, the cafe had settled into its usual rhythm, yet Monica Harris's presence continued to influence the subtle dynamics within the space. Patrons and staff alike had developed a heightened awareness of her calm authority. Tyler, the waiter who had mocked her days before, moved with quiet attentiveness, careful to ensure that every interaction with her was precise and respectful. His earlier arrogance had vanished completely, replaced by an underlying acknowledgement of the lesson she had imparted through her mere composure and status. Monica, as always, remained focused on her work, reviewing legal briefs and community project notes, her demeanor calm, confident, and unshakable. Throughout the morning, Monica engaged briefly with staff and patrons, responding politely to greetings and questions, while maintaining an air of dignified composure. Every movement, the way she adjusted her bag, sipped her cappuccino, or made notes, carried a quiet authority that reinforced her earned respect. Patrons observed, often unconsciously, the difference between someone who commanded attention through genuine presence and skill versus those who relied on bravado or casual dominance. Tyler, though silent, internalized the lesson. Respect cannot be demanded. It is earned through competence, confidence, and unshakable composure. Later in the afternoon, Monica remained at her table, reviewing upcoming court documents and preparing notes for hearings later in the week. Patrons continued to glance at her with quiet curiosity, observing the calm precision of someone whose authority extended far beyond the immediate cafe. Occasionally, whispers about her role as a judge circulated among new visitors, further amplifying the sense of respect and acknowledgement surrounding her presence. Tyler moved efficiently around the cafe, attending to other tables while remaining aware of her observation and influence, his earlier laughter replaced by professionalism and subdued respect. By early evening, Monica closed her briefcase and prepared to leave, gathering her belongings with the same meticulous composure she demonstrated in every aspect of her life. Patrons paused briefly, noticing her departure, a subtle recognition of the quiet authority she had imparted on the cafe environment. Tyler watched as she walked toward the door, the lesson lingering in his posture, movements, and expression. Mockery and assumptions are powerless against someone whose presence, competence, and calm authority command respect naturally. As Monica stepped out into the evening air, she moved confidently, fully aware that her composure, professionalism, and unwavering dignity had left a lasting impression on everyone who had witnessed it, quietly reshaping perceptions and reinforcing the power of earned authority. By the following Monday, Monica Harris had fully established a quiet presence in the cafe that subtly shaped the environment around her. Patrons who had witnessed her interactions before treated her with attentiveness, and even those unaware of her role as a judge responded to the composure and authority she exuded. Tyler, the waiter, moved cautiously, Fully aware of the lesson from their initial encounter, he approached each table with care, mindful of his tone and gestures, and often glanced at Monica, recognizing the contrast between her calm, dignified presence and the casual arrogance he had once displayed. Monica's calm focus on her documents and cappuccino served as a silent reinforcement of her authority, her demeanor commanding attention without any overt assertion. Throughout the morning, Monica reviewed case notes, prepared speeches for community engagements, and occasionally engaged in polite conversation with other patrons. Her voice was measured, her words deliberate, and her posture composed, conveying confidence and clarity. Tyler observed from a distance, adjusting his movements and responses to align with the respect her presence demanded. Patrons watched quietly, many unconsciously mirroring the attentiveness she inspired, a testament to the subtle but undeniable influence of someone whose authority and composure are grounded in genuine expertise and earned respect. By mid-afternoon, Monica received a phone call from her office regarding a case update. She answered with calm efficiency, providing precise instructions and guidance to her staff, further demonstrating the breadth of her competence. Her interactions, both direct and indirect, emphasize that authority does not require confrontation or ego. It manifests through consistent professionalism, thoughtful action, and the quiet projection of confidence. Tyler continued to serve other patrons with careful attention, aware that any lapse in professionalism would be immediately noticeable in the environment Monica had subtly transformed with her presence. As the day progressed, Monica prepared to leave, gathering her materials and finishing her cappuccino. Patrons noticed her movements, the careful precision in the way she handled her belongings, and the composed confidence with which she navigated the cafe. Tyler's earlier laughter and dismissiveness had long vanished, replaced by an unspoken acknowledgement of the authority she naturally commanded. When Monica finally stepped out into the street, her stride confident and assured, the cafe itself seemed to exude the respect she had instilled, a quiet lesson in the power of composure, dignity, and earned authority that lingered long after her departure. By midweek, Monica Harris's presence had fully established a new rhythm within the cafe. Patrons and staff moved with a subtle awareness of her authority, recognizing that her calm composure and quiet confidence commanded respect without a single raised voice. Tyler, the waiter who had once mocked her, now approached each interaction with caution and professionalism, fully conscious of the lesson she had imparted through her demeanor. Monica remained focused on her work, reviewing legal briefs and community project documents, her posture steady, her movements deliberate, and her presence unmistakably authoritative. Throughout the morning, she engaged politely with staff and other patrons, maintaining eye contact and a composed tone, reinforcing the idea that authority and respect are earned through competence and presence rather than through confrontation. Tyler delivered orders efficiently, his earlier arrogance replaced with attentiveness, and even subtle glances exchanged between him and Monica conveyed a mutual acknowledgement of the power dynamic that had shifted in her favor. Patrons observed quietly, noting how effortlessly her calm demeanor influenced the atmosphere around her, creating a sense of order, respect, and attentive focus in a space that had once been casual and noisy. Later in the afternoon, Monica received calls and messages regarding ongoing cases and community initiatives. She responded with precision and clarity, providing guidance and direction that underscored the breadth of her responsibility and authority. Each interaction, whether verbal or through her composed presence, reinforced the lesson she had demonstrated at the cafe. Disrespect and assumptions hold no weight against professionalism, earned authority, and calm confidence. Tyler moved among the tables efficiently, aware that even small lapses in attentiveness could contrast sharply with the standard Monica embodied. By evening, Monica packed her documents and prepared to leave, gathering her belongings with the same meticulous care that characterized every movement. Patrons observed her quietly, sensing the subtle influence she exerted on the environment. The space felt more organized, the interactions more respectful, and even casual chatter carried a tone of attentiveness. Tyler watched her depart, the lesson of humility, respect, and authority fully internalized, the brief encounter from days before having left a lasting impression. Monica stepped outside into the afternoon sunlight, walking with measured confidence, aware that her presence had permanently reshaped perceptions within the cafe and demonstrated that dignity, composure, and earned authority leave a quiet but indelible mark on all who witness them. By the following week, Monica Harris had become a quiet fixture in the cafe, her presence influencing the space in ways that extended beyond her immediate interactions. Patrons who had observed her previously now approached with polite attentiveness, and even those unaware of her professional status responded to her calm authority. Tyler, the waiter who had once mocked her, moved with measured care, aware of the subtle lessons she had instilled through her demeanor. Every movement he made, every word he spoke, reflected an understanding that respect is earned and reinforced through observation of competence and composure rather than by casual arrogance or bravado. Throughout the morning, Monica reviewed legal briefs and community outreach plans, occasionally engaging in brief but composed exchanges with staff and patrons. Her voice was calm, measured, and deliberate, her posture confident yet approachable. The cafe itself seemed to reflect the quiet order she brought with her presence. Conversations flowed with attentiveness, interactions were polite, and even the ambient energy of the space felt subtly aligned with her influence. Tyler served other tables with careful professionalism, his previous smirks replaced with attentiveness, a testament to the lingering impact of her quiet authority. Later in the day, Monica took a moment to organize notes for an upcoming court appearance. Patrons observed her focused demeanor, the careful movements of her hands, and the way she maintained composure while managing multiple tasks at once. Each action silently reinforced her credibility and authority, demonstrating that leadership and respect are conveyed through consistent behavior, measured presence, and expertise. Tyler, passing by with a tray, caught her eye briefly and offered a polite nod, an unspoken acknowledgement of the shift in dynamic and the lasting impression she had created in the cafe environment. By evening, Monica gathered her belongings and prepared to leave, her composure unwavering. Patrons continued to observe, subtly mirroring the respect and attentiveness her presence inspired. Tyler watched her depart, a quiet recognition of the lessons learned. Arrogance and casual disrespect are powerless against someone whose authority is earned, displayed through consistent professionalism and reinforced through calm composure. Monica stepped into the fading sunlight with measured confidence, fully aware that her influence had extended far beyond a single interaction, leaving the cafe subtly transformed and demonstrating that dignity, competence, and earned respect resonate long after the moment has passed. By the end of the week, Monica Harris had firmly established a presence in the cafe that quietly commanded respect and attention. Patrons and staff alike moved with a heightened awareness of her composure, and even those who had previously treated her with casual disregard now responded with attentive politeness. Tyler, the waiter who had mocked her initially, approached each interaction with careful professionalism, fully conscious of the lesson Monica had imparted through her calm authority. The atmosphere of the cafe had shifted subtly, yet undeniably. Conversations were quieter, gestures more respectful, and the overall energy of the space reflected the influence of her dignified presence. Throughout the day, Monica focused on her legal work and community projects, her demeanor calm, precise, and unwavering. Her interactions, whether brief exchanges with patrons or careful attention to her documents, reinforced the quiet but powerful authority she carried. Tyler continued to serve tables efficiently, mindful of every movement and tone of voice, while the patrons observed, consciously or unconsciously absorbing the example of dignity and earned respect she had set. The lesson was clear. Arrogance and casual disrespect are powerless in the face of competence, composure, and professional authority. By evening, Monica gathered her belongings and prepared to leave, her movements deliberate and confident. Patrons offered subtle nods, and Tyler paused briefly to acknowledge her presence with a polite gesture. Every interaction throughout the week had reinforced the enduring impression she had left, that true respect is earned through consistent demonstration of skill, calm authority, and unwavering professionalism. Monica stepped outside into the twilight, walking with measured assurance, fully aware that her influence extended beyond a single encounter, shaping perceptions and leaving a lasting mark on all who had witnessed it. The cafe, now subtly transformed, stood as a testament to the power of composure, earned authority, and the quiet but undeniable impact of dignity in every interaction.